The brainstorm has passed, and we have a set of topics to work with. Next, we will use the products of our brainstorm to quickly do a very rough draft. Be prepared to abandon all concerns for grammar, spelling, and format. This is time to just get words on a page, to just create something, and we'll polish it later. So get ready to speak your mind. Being a systematic writer means being a smart writer, which means taking the path that is least time-consuming. We selected 3 or 4 subtopics that we found easy to write about and that would be of interest to our audience. They will become the core paragraphs of your essay. In this video, we're going to talk about how to do your rough draft. That's your first draft. And in this case, it's going to be a very rough draft. This is going to be like an artist's quick sketch. Get the general facts and issues out there as quickly as you can. Don't agonize over the details. Don't worry about grammar or spelling, really. Don't worry about formatting, punctuation, or even ideal sentence structure. That will come later. Just write, but paint a picture. Paint a picture of the ideas that you're trying to transfer to the mind of your reader. If you're aiming for a 1-page essay, write 2 pages, write 3 pages. You can always trim it back, and I'm going to show you how to write it quickly and easily. Now, let's go into some detail. So, be creative. We want to paint a picture that will be in the mind of our reader. Remember, most of us are visual. Most of us remember things visually. Most of us understand things visually. That's why even in fields as dry as mathematics and economics, they use all those graphs because it helps people to visually understand what's going on. Well, you can paint pictures with your words if you're successful. So paint a picture for your reader. Art is a balancing act. The brain has both a left side and a right side, and they're both kind of pushing for attention at all times. But on the left is the more analytical you. It's the place for analysis. It's the place where the facts of education fit in. It's the place where things that can be quantified, that can be graphed, that can be put into a book easily, there they are. On the other hand, there's the intuitive side, the right side. That is the side that ties things together. And it is part of where the artist dwells. The artist who only lives on the right side of their brain is usually a little hard to bear. But the artist who can combine skills and methodology from the left side and use them to create pictures and music and art on the right side, there's an artist you're going to remember. And writing is art. So good writing is an art that balances technique and creativity. So we've picked the 4 subtopics we want. We're going to convert those notes into some sentences, and then we're just going to write like crazy. So here's how I did it. I said family, okay, work, all right, education, interest, all right. Those are the topics for my 4 paragraphs within a short essay about who am I. what might some of the sentences in there look like? Well, family related. I was born in the poorest and most remote part of the United States, West Virginia. I grew up in a large family, and I was the first to go on to college. So a number of things relate to my family origin. How about work? Well, I worked for 30 years in emerging technology industries. I excelled at running technical processes, analysis, and cost accounting, taught financial management, taught English and business planning in Bulgaria and the Philippines. So take that one out. I earned a master's degree of science in education and also in financial services. I've got several certifications in finance and community service. I've selected as a Peace Corps Fellow and an English Language Fellow. So these are all kind of dry sentences. They're simply statements of fact, but they're a good place to start. We're kind of building our essay in a snowball. All right, interest. I've got some interest. I like to read. I like to read Tolkien in particular. I've read the Lord of the Rings many times because I consider it one of the most important books of the 20th century. I also like Harry Potter. Probably not going to go down as one of the most important books of all time, but certainly very entertaining for me.
Now, I'd like to show you a feature of Word that is going to make your life a lot easier. Let's switch over to Word. And I'm getting ready to do a rough draft. Now, I could sit here and peck away at the typewriter and write things, but if I'm in a really creative mood and I've just got ideas popping out of my head, I can use this feature. It's called Dictate. It's on your home page of Word, up on the top right-hand corner. Let's see how it goes. Okay, it's on. Now that it's on, you'll notice on your screen that every word that I say just appears on the screen so that you can begin to dictate your draft. It's like you've got this really great secretary who's really quick at writing, just sitting there waiting to write down everything you say. So you can do a super quick draft of your words, of your ideas, and you're not going to have to worry about counting them. You're not going to have to worry about whether the spelling is perfect, because actually Word is going to take care of a lot of that for you. And if you have your page already formatted, it's actually going to format it for you. Even though I told you, don't worry about things like that too much at this stage. Turn this on and just start speaking about it. If you're talking about your family, talk about the people in your family and how they've influenced who you are, how your growing up influenced you, and so on. Don't worry about whether you get it perfect, and you can get words on paper really quickly with this. So use it, but don't turn it in. Use it as your very rough draft as a place to start. We're going to look at what we can do to take that rough draft that you've done and turn that into something more excellent. And to do that, we're going to talk about using your peers, using your friends, using your classmates as a second set of eyes to help you perfect your writing.